Project Lamport. A little bit of an update. You know, we've been busy growing cover crops for the last 2 or 3 months. We're coming to the end of our cover crop phase. We'll terminate this off in early January. But we've just been having doing one or two things. Here is our control plots, and our control plots have gone through a kind of evolution where the first 2 years are very blocky and you know, cloddy type of soils, but in the third year now and the fourth year they're starting to really structure themselves really quite nicely, and as you can see, the soil is holding together. It's quite friable, it kind of crumbles, and this is difficult soil, but you can see the structure. This has never had cover crops in, it's never had any soil movement through it, and you can see as I just lightly touch it how it kind of really starts to break down. So our soil in our cover crop plots has taken 3 or 4 years, but it's beginning to structure and aggregate really nicely. We know aggregation is the key thing we want in our soil. It protects our carbon and does many other good things as well. Then we've got a very different story in the middle here. This has never had a cover crop in it, but this is our subsoil plots at 20 centimeters using a DTX tine. And what's happened over time is this soil's become big, lumpy clods, and probably what you can't see is just very kind of wet and a sort of mass of wet soil. And when we do a proper structural analysis in the spring, this soil will look really poor. The deeper we go, the poorer it gets. So it's not so nicely structured as our control plots, but the real big difference is when we come to our cover crop plots. So this one's been in cover crops now, and obviously our spring cropping for 4 years. So this is our 4th year, and hopefully you can see lots of really nice roots working through our soil. It just the soil just falls to pieces in my hands. I have to put no pressure. As you can see, this lovely aggregation. You can see lots of kind of worms, even though this is not the time of year necessary for worms. You can see the soil just crumbles and fries. It's actually a different color if you look at the 3, but you can see how nice this soil things. This is this function of photosynthesis, capturing our carbon and delivering all of those kind of many different organic compounds into our soils, and providing nutrition and carbon for our microbes that in turn do a lovely job of structuring the soil. So hopefully you can see that soil looks a lot more healthy, a lot better function to that soil. It's actually a darker soil than 4 years of subsoiling. That's become a much lighter soil, as the control is as well. But the control, although in a camera it probably doesn't show it too well, but it's much better structured now. But it's taken 3 or 4 years to get there. But the really standout plots really at the moment are our cover crop plots, with this lovely kind of aggregation of our soil, even though this is quite challenging heavy soil. A little bit of update about how the structure of our soil is progressing here at Project Lamport.